Hello students, we have started our chapter 4, that is our beautiful country, and this is our last video of this chapter. Okay, in our last two videos we have discussed about the plateaus, deserts and mountains. Also we have read about the importance of mountains. Okay, now we are going to read about the rivers and plains in India. Okay, so River Ganga is the important river in the northern part of India, northern India, and it originates at the Gangotri glaciers. What is glacier? Glaciers are the glacier is the land that is always covered with the snow. Okay, and these glaciers are found in the Himalayas. So these glaciers, they give rise to many rivers, and it is always frozen, but in summer season or in summer time some parts of glaciers they melt, and this water flows into the rivers. Okay, so this river that is originates into the Himalayas, that in Gangotri glacier. Okay, now we will see that how does a river originates and what is its course, means how it flows from mountains and then it through the plain and it joins to the or it merges into the sea. Okay, so here we can see, if we take the example of river Ganga. The river Ganga is a perennial river. Perennial means this river has water throughout the year. In rainy season it gets water from rainfall, and other seasons, in summer season it gets water from the melting of Gangotri glacier. So this water flows down to the river when it melts in summer. Okay, so this water is a very clear water when this river is in the upper course, that is upper part where it originates. This upper part of the river is very clean water, and you can say it is in original form without any pollution or without any impurity. Okay, so this is the clear and we can say pristine water. Pristine means in original form. Okay, so this water is clear and pristine. Okay, then we will see, suppose this is the source of the river. If we take the example of Ganga river, so this is the Gangotri glacier where it originates. It starts here. Originate means it starts here. Okay, then in this upper course where this Ganga originate, it flows at a high speed or very great speed, and as it rushes down to the mountains, as it is flowing from the mountains, its speed is very high in the upper course. Okay, as it flows down to the plains in the middle course, when it starts flowing through the plains, number of rivers join this river. Many rivers, small rivers, big rivers join this Ganga river, and thus its speed becomes slow. Okay, and the volume of the water increases as other rivers are joining here to this Ganga river. Its volume increases and its speed slows down. Okay, and its speed slows down and it forms loops in the plains. Loops means it is also called meander. This loop is called meander, means it flows like this because it is flowing through the plains, and it has a large quantity of water and it is flowing through the plains. So when flowing through the plains, it forms this type of loops. This type of loops, they are called meanders. Okay, in its final journey in the lower course, now this is the lower course in the plain areas. Okay, in the lower course, the river form the deltas. Lower course, what happens here, when it is going to merge into the sea, before that all the silt and we can say the fine clay, we can say the soil which it brings from the mountains, it deposits that soil on the banks. So these banks are very much rich in this soil, and this soil is known as alluvial soil. Okay, so here they form the delta. Deltas are the places or where these rivers deposits very fine silt containing soil on their banks. Okay, so here this Ganga river forms Ganga Brahmaputra delta. Here means Brahmaputra river also joins here and they form the Ganga Brahmaputra delta and slowly meandered towards the Bay of Bengal, merging into the ocean. Now this Ganga river merges into the sea or joins the sea. Which sea? Bay of Bengal. Okay, so this is the course of a river: upper course, middle course and the lower course. In lower course it forms delta, in the middle course it flows through the plains, and in the upper course it flows through the mountains. Okay, here its speed is very high, here its speed slows down, and in the plains it forms meanders and deltas. Okay, and finally it merges into the sea. So the soil which is deposited on these plains here, this plains are very fertile because of this soil, and this soil is known as alluvial soil. This is deposited on the banks of the rivers in the plains. Okay, this soil is very fertile. Fertile means crops can grow very good here, and this soil is also rich in minerals. Rich in minerals means these minerals help plants to grow well. Okay, that's why this soil is good. This soil is known as alluvial soil. The Ganga plain that is drained by the Yamuna and the Ghagra and many other rivers, this fertile region is called the food bowl of India. These plains where these Ganga and other rivers form the delta, and these plains are known as the food bowl of India, because most of the what we can say crops that are grown here, and the main is wheat. We can say wheat is the main crop that is grown here. Then plains are formed when the rivers deposit their silt and soil on the banks. Okay, now what are plains? I am telling you about the plains, but what are plains? You should know that. So plains are the lowlands. These are the flat lowlands, and mostly they cover the thousands of kilometers, and they are mostly flat lands without much difference in height. They are flat land. They don't have hills or mountains or valleys there. They are flat lands, and they are normally found in the continents and near water bodies like rivers. These plains we can see generally on the banks of the rivers. Okay, near the water bodies like rivers. Then there is a question. Before also we have seen one question, that why in deserts few people are living, because there is life is very tough. We have seen that. But here is another question, why many people live in plains as opposed to the mountains and plateaus and deserts? Okay, mountains, plateaus and desert, they are having very less population as compared to the plains. So why it happens? So there are few reasons. See, lots of towns and cities are also located in the plains. You can see Delhi, Kanpur, Allahabad and many other cities in the northern part of India, that is Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Chhattisgarh. These states are in the plains. Okay, and many important cities of India, they are located on the plains of on the banks of this river, that is Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra. Okay, so this why these cities are located on the banks of these rivers or located in these plains? Because these plains have fertile soil, so people can do agriculture there, है ना? So agriculture is the very important occupation of the people living in this plain. So first reason is plains have fertile soil. Okay, this is the reason why many people live in the plains. Second thing, there is plenty of water in the plains. As these rivers flowing in these plains, they are perennial, means they have water throughout the year. They are not seasonal rivers. As they are having water throughout the year, there is no scarcity of water or no lack of water in the plains, and they have plenty of water. That's why people like to live here. Okay, this is the second reason. Third reason is that there in the plains we have proper transport facilities. Okay, in deserts and mountains it is very difficult to lay the railway lines and to construct the roads, है ना? But in plains, as the land is flat, है ना, without mountains and sand, it is very easy to lay the railway lines and to construct the roads and bridges and flyovers, etc. Okay, and this makes the this gives the proper transport facilities to the people, and this is the another reason why many people live in the plains. Okay, we can see, if you see our if you read our ancient culture, you can see that a lot of civilizations such as Indus Valley civilization developed on the river of Banks. Means from the ancient times people are living on the banks of rivers, because they get water there and they get fine, or we can say fertile soil for agriculture or farming. Okay, this is the reason. It is also easier to build roads, airports, train lines and canals in the plain. And one can see large industries such as iron and steel in the plains. Also it is very it is not difficult to build the industries in the plain areas. Okay, and these are the reasons why many people are living in the plains, and that's why the northern part of India, that is northern plains, they are very densely populated. Densely populated means large number of people are living in these plains. Okay, so this is all about the rivers and river Ganga and the source, and we can say the way of flowing Ganga river, or this is just the example, but many other rivers, they are also flowing in this way. And then we have seen the soil type in the plains, water plains, and the reasons why people live in the plains. Okay, so here we have finished our fourth chapter. Okay, and we will meet in the next video again. So till then, take care. Bye bye.